Alright, our legs are cut, our support pieces for the side are cut. Now all we have to do is lay it out, because we have holes that we're going to have to drill in the sides. We have sawhorse brackets that we have to mount. Plus we have a pivot hole at the top of each long leg to drill in. So let's go ahead and lay those out. First thing I want to do, I'm pretty lazy. I don't like to measure each board. That tends to throw off your accuracy when you have to go back and do the same measurement over and over and over again. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to move my support pieces out of our way. And I'm going to line up the bottoms of all the boards. I've got the bevel side up. And I do that by taking my T-square or my carpenter square or whatever, and basically just making a flat platform, just like they'd be on the floor, and making sure all the boards are flat up against there. So now when I start 12 inches from here to here, it's the same as 12 inches here to here, 12 inches here to here. Although all the measurements on my plan are in centimeters. So the first, we have our horizontal supports that keep our legs spread, and the holes for those are at 38 centimeters from the bottom. Then on my two front legs, I also have the supports that keeps the top flat, and that's at 60.6 centimeters. And then I have the brackets, which are at 70 centimeters. And then I have the points for the pivot holes that will be drilled in the sides up here, and those are at 85.6 centimeters. So I'll just go ahead and lay those out on one board. You might notice that I've already kind of done that here, but you know, like I said before, measure twice, cut once. So my 38 centimeter point, over here, my 60.6 centimeter part, coming back to my bracket at 70 centimeters, and then the pivot holes at 85.6 centimeters. Now, as long as I'm careful and I don't move things around, when I take my T-square out again, and I draw that line across, .38. Up here I just need the 60.6. Line across from my bracket at 70, and then my 85.6 point. So there we go. Our legs are laid out, and basically what I'm going to do now, I'm going to have a hole that I've got to transfer, and I've got to transfer from the face edge to the side edge. So hole, 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 a hole and a hole. The brackets go straight across. That'll tell me the maximum insertion point for my bracket. And a hole and a hole. So the next step for these is drilling. But I can't drill these out until after I lay out my top and my cross braces. And those are next. Alright, what I have here is our horizontal leg braces and our vertical tabletop braces. Now I've already done some layout on these, but I'm going to show you how I did it anyway. The lower legs, basically we have a pivot hole and a locking slot, because it's going to pivot up, go down, and then we're going to have a lock ring to tighten it against the leg. And it's pretty much laid out so we have 1.9 centimeters from the edge for either start point or the hole, and 1.9 centimeters to give you a middle. So we're going to draw on center 1.9 centimeters from the edge. Now, our 1x2s, our furring strips, just happen to be 3.8 by 1.9. So if you want 1.9, we're just going to go the width of one furring strip. And since we want half of 3.8, we're going to use that same width to lay out our marks. And now where the lines cross, that's where we're going to drill our holes. Now this slot here is to remind me that I've got to cut out material once I've drilled the hole. So I'm going to drill the hole and then use my miter box and my miter saw to cut down into the hole. So I've got a slot at the end. So the horizontals are real easy to lay out. The verticals are a little bit more tricky. Now we do the same on the slotted end, because once again, these are going to pivot down into place from the tabletop, and on the side of the leg they're going to get clamped into place. So we have to be able to get it down over the bolt for the clamp. So we're going to do the same thing. We're going to mark these off. The width, see that? Didn't even need a ruler for that, because that's just how they come from Home Depot. Now at the pivot point, we have a couple concerns. Number one, the bracket we made is actually only 3.5 centimeters deep. Now of that 3.5 centimeters, we got to give half a centimeter, or 5 millimeters. We have to give that up for the screw space, because there's screws that are going to hold these in place from the inside. So that means effectively from bottom to top, we've got 3 centimeters. So what I'm going to do is set my combination square up for 3 centimeters and just mark myself a line. And I'm going to take the bracket we made, since we want our pivot hole to be in the same spot that it is in the bracket, and we're just going to put it so the bottom edge is along the line we just drew. The edge is along the edge of the 1x2, and we mark our spot. Now I'm confident I did it the same on 2 of these guys, so and now our vertical and horizontal support brackets are measured out and ready for drilling, which is going to leave us with laying out our top. The top comes next.